Hello, good evening and welcome. As ever, it's Thursday night, so this is an evening with the gang. At the moment, it's an evening with me. I don't know if any of the gang are around or available to come in tonight, but if you're watching, come and join me. If not, don't. I see a few people are in the chat. We have Jamie's in, saying hi everyone. Eric is in, and obviously, as ever, Schoolfish is in. And I'm in. There we go. That's everybody. Cynical Steve's also pops along just as I was opening up. So yeah, hello and welcome. It might be a quiet evening tonight. I've got the feeling. I don't know. It's cold outside and it's stuff going on, and obviously tired from bonfire night a couple of nights ago and things like that. So I'm expecting a quiet night, both this side of the camera and your side of the camera. I'm not expecting there to be a lot of people watching. Don't know, just a feeling. If it does stay with just me, then I've got a little kit that I'll switch cameras and get on with a bit later on. But we'll see how it goes. How is everybody? You all doing all right? You can yeah, I can obviously see the chat and things. So let me know what's going on, and if anything's been happening, if you've got any news or interest or anything to talk about, then that's always fun. Let's have a look. Jamie has a question. What's the closest colour match to AK Interactive Sky Blue paint? I would say the closest is going to be AK Interactive Sky Blue. Why would you not use that one if you know what that one is? I don't know. I don't know what other brands would match it. I've got no idea at all. Hopefully somebody in the chat will be able to help you out. Or say, I don't know, if you Google it, it might tell you other things that are similar. I don't know. I'm not good with colour matching and things like that. I don't tend to go by the book too much. I tend to, sort of seat of the pants flying. So, yeah. Let's see. Everyone's saying evening to everyone as they are. Edward's in, evening all as well. Steve says, "Good time, Chris. How's yourself?" I'm all right, actually. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired, but that's pretty normal for me at the moment. I seem to be a little bit tired most of the time, but there we go. Looking forward to the weekend. Obviously, it's Telford the weekend, the big Scale Model World show. Scale Model World. That sounds right. I'm there on Sunday. It does start on Saturday, but I'm not going to be there Saturday. I tend to do the Sundays. So if you are there the weekend, if you're there on Sunday, keep an eye out for me. I'll be wearing the bright orange hoodie and probably the E models jacket because it might be cold in there. It depends on the temperature as to how much I wear, shall we say. No mankini action though. That's definitely none of that. So yeah. Jamie says, I don't have that exact paint. I was thinking something like Tamiya Light Blue. I'd say I don't know the colour of that one, so I don't know. But yeah, it's all going to be similar. So yeah, Scottfish says he only paints things orange, so that's the only colour I'm aware of. That's about right, yeah. John's in. Hi all. Hello, John. or red, yeah. Mainly orange. Well, but the Warhammer stuff's all red, all orange. But other colours, I do use other colours. Right. Yeah, so let's start as we mean to go on. I didn't press my buttons to put the text in the chat and stuff, so I'll do that now and say hello and welcome to the stream. If you want to get your own Gross Models t-shirts, hoodies and stuff, that's the link there for that. I've got banners for them. Why am I not using that? I don't think I've got one for that, have I? No, I haven't set one up on my merchandise store, but the link is there. There is the group. That's the important one. The Gross Group, facebook.com/groups/Gross Group. I'll be looking at the group later on and going through the pictures and things that have been sent in. I'm saying sent in, posted up, that sort of thing. So there's a few in there this week, as ever, which is always good to be things to talk about. And as ever, my patrons are around. You can become one. Come along and join in. I have many patrons now, and it's lovely. It's like a big extended family thing. And obviously, all my patrons at video tier are welcome and indeed encouraged to come along and join in tonight's stream. As are the members of the gang, obviously. But and one of each, both member of the gang and patron, George, is here. He's joined me. Hello, George. I can't hear you, George. Still can't hear you. George might be doing interpretive dance today, so if we can't hear him, I don't know sign language. only rude ones. But at some point, he might actually come on camera and be able to be heard, but he can't yet. Unless it's just me that can't hear you. If anybody in the actual stream can hear George and it's just me, then feel free to tell me. But I can't hear him. Let's have a look. Chris forgets he has buttons. Yeah, I've got the buttons. They're just there. But yeah, the other button I can press is the website, which I posted things up in this week. So go and have a look at that. That's that. Shane's in. Good evening, Chris and everyone, he says. So, yeah. No, nobody can hear you, George. As long as it's not just me, that's the important thing. Dad's in there saying can't hear him. John says can't hear him. Dad's here says evening. Oh, I can hear something now. I heard something.
Better? Maybe?
Yes, but you're out of sync to your mouth.
That's weird. Hold on.
Are you going through some translation program that you get just like?
No, not that I'm aware of. No.
Very strange.
Oh well.
Dave says he's obviously helping out with the colour thing. AMC Skyline Blue. He's got the hex colour code, and yeah, it's a shade of cyan blue. But yeah, that means very little to me. But thank you, Dave. Everyone's saying they can't hear you. Everyone's saying, "Hey, Dad." And then Steve says, "Yes, it lives."
Yeah, briefly, anyway.
Oh, and Dave's back on his other account, his actual page account. So wrong account. Evening Butcher That Model. Evening, Dave. Yeah. You bought loads of them boxes. I saw the picture. That
this
Bones
one?
thing. Yeah.
I only bought 4 of them.
Only 4 of them. and they're a game though, aren't they? Is it like a game pack?
Kind of. I mean, it's got 2 small halves of an army. I mainly wanted it so that I could get. So there's these little Mortrek guard. So you can buy them separately, and then it comes with 3 of these, which I forget what they're called. Hold on. They're called big dudes with swords. Necropolis Stalkers. So I don't know. The whole box has about $300 worth of kits in there, and since I planned on running these guys anyway, I just bought. It was $190. So I just bought 4 so that I would have a decent sized like.
Right. So it is a cheaper way of getting the plastic.
Yeah.
That's right. I thought you'd decided to branch out into selling.
No, they're all for me. Except, well, there's like characters that only come in this box. This guy and this guy. I might get rid of those because I think you can only run 1 each.
Right. So like unique characters or something.
Yeah, but the rest I'm actually planning on running in my OC Arc army. So
cool.
Yeah, that is what I'll be working on. So I did get some other stuff. I got the Bone Tithe Nexus to go with it. So this is the big scenery piece.
All right.
From what I saw, I think it doesn't cost any points, and then every turn it does something to somebody. So negative. So that, and then I got the endless spells too. So I'm gearing up. I'm gonna try to play for real. I'm gonna try to play these new guys because they're new, and there won't be a whole bunch of those, or maybe there will. I don't know. But
this is a Sigmar stuff, isn't it? It's not 40k.
Yeah, Sigmar speaks to me a little more than 40k, but it's only because I've read the Sigmar books.
All right. Yeah.
And so I know the lore behind it all a lot better than I know the lore behind 40k. So
I do tend to like the look of Sigmar stuff more than 40k stuff for some reason. 40k stuff's very military army type. You know, the Sigmar stuff's a bit more mythical and sorcery and things, which appeals to me better.
Yeah.
Yes, I was talking about Telford earlier. Apparently, Ray from Malta is at Telford already. So yeah, I think I did see someone was there or going there tomorrow to set up stalls and things. Because obviously it's Friday tomorrow, so you need to set up tomorrow for opening to the public on Saturday. But I don't think they'll let him in if he just turns up. Pascal's in. Evening all. Evening, Pascal. Dad says, look at all them reds, George.
I don't know. They go in order, but yeah, there's a lot of the warm colors are right here.
Are they all different, or are they multiples? They're all different.
They're all different. Yeah. I now have the entire Citadel paint line. They're not all ordered just yet. They're ordered till about here, which is nice because that's where roughly the camera is.
Yeah.
They're all ordered from red to purple, but
unless I do that, in which case that we can see the ones that are out of order. So I won't do that anymore.
But yeah, I've got to figure out the flesh tones and how I want to order them because stuff like this is kind of orange. So if this was a true color wheel, it would go in here. But I want to keep all the flesh tones together so that it's easy.
Yeah, easy. There's a difference between making it organized and making it easy.
Yeah. So haven't finished this part. And then there's still a bunch up on the top here, too, that still need to be organized. I have the metallics and the grays and the whites, and then all the contrast and technical ones are in their own separate ones. So,
and you've got exactly the same setup in your other workshop, yeah?
Yeah, but those are all in dropper bottles because that one's my airbrushing one for the Gundams, which I've apparently forgotten about altogether.
It seems I got distracted by more hamsters. Yeah. Dave says you're going to bring Chris the Poxwalker. I didn't base him, so you can base him yourself to match your Poxwalkers. I've got some Poxwalkers, but I haven't done anything with painting or basing them. But yeah, that's lovely. Thanks, Dave. Modern Waking Haggis is in. Good evening, peeps. Good evening, Haggis. Or Modern Waking. I don't know what to call it. Dad says it was Luke. Yes, black rifle models. Yeah, Luke. That was him. Yep, he put a little video up earlier. Shane says that there are some really nice chariots being pulled by various creatures in Sigmar. Yeah, they do a lot of nice floaty. I've got that big box of floaty things. It's Sigmar. Edward says Games Workshop likes to sell paint. Yeah, there's not much difference between a lot of the shades. I can see that from they blend nicely into one another on George's shelf there. But I'm sure it looks like 5 of them are exactly the same, but they're not. But yeah.
Yeah, originally I was only gonna buy a couple. So my wife is a painter on canvas, and she only ever uses 3 colors. Or 4 if you count white as a color, and she mixes all of her colors. But because these aren't in dropper bottles, I'm never gonna get the same color. Like if they were in dropper bottles and I could go 2 drops of this one drop of this one drop of this one, then I wouldn't need as many. But I figure
when you start talking about a brushful, it's never going to be exactly the same brushful.
Yeah. So yeah. This way I don't have to worry about, do I have the right off shade of red to match this off shade of red that I put on this guy? So
yeah, exactly. But then, I mean, for most of us, that would be close enough, but you'd like it a bit more precise than that.
Yeah.
Eric says, you're a modeler when you have 50 different shades of the same paint colour. To which Dave replies that he's got 50 shades of grey. Oh, Eric, that's the other group I'm in. Not that. Yeah, we won't talk about that, Dave. No. Lucky that isn't on the internet or anything, but yeah. Shane's talking to Dave, saying he noticed building a lot of Sigmar stuff. Yeah, I prefer the Sigmar stuff myself, I think. Yeah. Jamie says, has anyone seen at Telford, FX are going to unveil a new 172nd Vulcan B2? I've got no interest in it at all, but it's nice to know that there's still lots of big stuff coming out. Phil Lewis is in. Evening all. If I'm fashionably late as usual, yeah, nothing's happened yet. Well, not when I say yet. I mean nothing's happened because nothing ever really happens. It's not. Yeah, this is just a hanging out, chatting show. It's not exactly a. You've missed the first 10 minutes. You'll never know what's going on. um. Yeah. So it's quarter past. It's not. Nothing's happened. Nice. Are those boxes on your shelf there? Obviously, things you've not done yet.
Yeah, most of the stuff I've not done yet. I have a bad habit of getting the things and then going, ooh, new shinier things have come, and not building anything. That's why my Gundam room is so full, and I don't have any Gundams built on the shelf back there. So
You've got half a Gundam built, didn't you?
yeah, well, I've got a couple halves. I've got one really nice one, and then a couple halves of a couple other ones. But I've only got one full one, and that one took me months and months and months.
But the two halves don't fit together, no.
No, there. I seem to get the top half done, and then get bored before I get to the leg. And so
Well, you need to start on a leg then one time.
right, if they started that way, one was the problem was I stopped because I was gonna go along with Fox as he built up his Sazabi, and then that took so long that I got into Warhammer in the middle of it, and yeah, that's been all. But the other thing too is Adepticon is in March, which feels like right around the corner. So I've just been really focusing on painting so that I can enter something into the Golden Demon that isn't going to be an embarrassment to myself. So
Cool. It's always nice to have goals, but yeah.
yeah.
Phil Lewis says he never knows what's going on anyway. Absolutely. You're welcome to my world. Eric says, the funny thing is, I do have 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, that's quite scary. I don't like to buy paint. I still have 56 pots, says Edward.
Yeah. You know what happened was I got tired of collecting kits that will never be open, and so I started collecting paint. Even my Christmas list actually has a couple full sets of paint because now apparently that's just what I'm collecting. Because it makes the shelf look nice. It makes it look like I do a lot of modeling, even though I don't.
This is true, but how many of those paints have you not opened?
Most of them. Yeah, my armies tend to be themed in the pink and blue areas, and so most of these other colors. I'm trying to do non-metallic metal, so the yellow and the browns are now been used, and I got that salamander guy, so I opened up one of the greens.
Oh,
so yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get some of that fluorescent greeny stuff for the Wraithy type things that are in that kit. Obviously, I'm gonna do one in orange, but
yeah. Nighthawk Bloom, I think they call it.
I think so. Yes, I can't get the box out at the moment. It's under other things, but yeah, it's definitely something like that.
Yep, I'm about to make one guy and paint one guy to test the color scheme that I came up with in my sleep that I think is going to be cool.
Is it orange?
No, your thing is orange. That's red. Mine is pink. No, but it's very 1980s Miami Vice colors.
Oh, I got the theme going now.
Yeah. John Johnson. Yeah. So
Phil says the paints on the right are coming towards you and the one on the left are receding, George. I don't know quite what. The
That's
one, well, it's going around the corner, so they sort of are getting closer to us. But
yeah.
I don't know quite what you meant. Not sure. Right. Well, it's 20 past. Shall we go and have a look in the not the gallery, the gross gallery, the
The Facebook.
readers' wives. No, not wives. Readers' pictures. I shall share the screen of the application of the gross group, and the first picture is in fact one of mine. Now I know. Let's put it here so I can still see the chat and still go on. I think I put this picture up earlier, but this is the one where it's got assassins in it. I was going to see if Cy was about. Cy Reynolds is not in the chat, or he could tell us that he could see 4 assassins in that picture, but he's not here, so he can't.
Oh yes.
But there we go. So yeah, I put up a few pictures of these. Luckily, I got some in proper lighting, and some in horrible, changey, multicoloured lighting. He did
Yeah.
say the back of the tower was where some of them were, but I can't remember what he said, and I haven't got a picture of the whole back of the tower, so I don't know.
I've got the book that you can get. I can go get it. It has a little more information on that. I sent a picture of this thing to my wife when I saw it, and I said, "This is what's going in her living room, the library area," and she told me no chance.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's strange that. Yeah, but it's a very impressive model. It's a very impressive feat, but some of it just doesn't look right. I mean, the base of the floor down here is just sort of unfinished. Admittedly, you can only see it from certain angles, and you know the rest of it's impressive, but it just looks not quite right to me. But it's just massive men. It's just crazy. I don't know how much it would cost to buy that kit.
Yeah.
To build that display. It's just crazy. But yeah, I can't see any assassins in there.
Let's see.
This was yeah, Steve needed a new saw, and the scribe was on offer, so it'd be rude not to. I'm not sure why these are number 2. I don't know if they're better than the first one or if they've improved them. But yeah, the plastic scriber is one thing that I'm probably going to end up picking up at Telford, because I haven't got a panel line scribery thing, and it's sort of thing that I think I should probably have, even if I don't use it. But yeah. Roger's been playing with tanks. I don't know any more than that, but yes, they're definitely tanks, I can tell you that. Steve says that the saw is certainly better than his original one, so there we go. This is also Roger. Oh, this might be the tanks that he had. I don't know. Oddball Heroes, Oddball Sherman, Hollywood Tiger. It's obviously a game by the looks of it, because it includes special rules on it, but I don't know what type of game it is. It's Warlord something, but again, no idea. It's obviously some tank-based gameplay. Film-inspired character figures. Don't know what film they're inspired by. Kelly's Heroes, says Phil Lewis. Okay, there we go. I don't even know what flavour of tank they are, but you know.
Brown.
Yeah, browny, greeny, whatever. It's a tabletop war game. Yeah, I figured that much. Mark Dale has been playing with probably one of the big versions of the Orc planes that I've been doing by the looks of it. Nicely grimed up and orked up and messed up and looking lovely and grotty. Because Orcs don't look after stuff. Yeah, like the chipping and wear and yeah, lovely. Steve's been playing with Lego again. Anakin's Pod Racer 20th Anniversary Edition. I didn't know there was I don't know what they've done different, but they've obviously gone back to the original Star Wars styling of the text and the words and the box art sort of thing. But that's pretty cool. Is it 20 years? That's scary. It's very, very scary when they do things like that. Yeah. 20 years of Luke Skywalker. Well, it's not even 20 years of Luke Skywalker. 20 years since that one. Oh, 20 years of Lego Star Wars by the looks of it. That's interesting. 20 years of Star Wars Lego, says Steve. Yeah, I think that's what it seems to say on the Luke base. But yeah, it was probably 20 years since the Phantom Menace, isn't it? Probably.
No, it can't be.
It could be.
No, because I was out of high school. I graduated in 2000.
Was it? I was going to say it was around 2000. I don't know if it was a bit before or a bit after, but let's have a look. Let's have a look. I'll look it up on IMDb.
Yeah.
Phantom Menace was 1999. So, yep,
Whoa.
20 years.
Oh, man.
It's scary.
No.
It really is.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's when people say, that's, 30 years ago. It's like, no, it's only 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't sign up for this aging nonsense.
No, well, it's better than the alternative, but yeah.
Well,
This is Steve as well. A part of an old IR gun game. It used to house a smartphone. I kept it because it looked interesting. I hate to throw things away. I had a little styrene and turned it into an airlock door. It's going to turn into a small hangar bay diorama as practice for a much larger one. Now, I took exception at this when he said it was an old IR gun game, and it used to house a smartphone. And it was like, well, it can't be an old game if it had a smartphone in it. Because, like we were just saying, that 20 years ago is Phantom Menace. It's when I think of an old game, I think of the old games, but not anything that would have a smartphone involved anywhere near it.
yeah.
But yeah,
1980s.
yeah, I remember the Littlewoods catalogues, or you wouldn't have had them there, but old games like sort of. I remember Crossfire for some reason. That's the one that always comes to mind when I think of old games. But yeah, it's very, very scary. Dan has been playing with the TIE Advanced. I think that one is not Advanced. It's the Vader's one, isn't it? It's the X1 or whatever they called it. Steve says it was 2015. That's 4 years old, so it's old. 4 years isn't old. No, I refuse to think of 4 years ago as being anything old. Yeah. So yeah, Vader's TIE Fighter without the wings on, and Vader looking out at him. Quite scary.
Right.
I can hear the voice now. I can hear the breathing. Phil Lewis. Oh, this is the tank we've been looking at the past few weeks with the stuff being added to it, the extra armor panels or whatever it is that's getting stuck onto it. It's looking very impressive now. These are, speaking of old games, been doing things with my PS Vita. Now it's full of classic emulators.
Yeah, he showed me that on Facebook Messenger. I need to find mine. I know it's around here somewhere. I just don't know where. And I still wouldn't call that old. The PSP, I guess the old emulators he's got are old. But
Yeah, they'll be emulating old games, but yeah. No, I do like that tank. I don't know again what flavour of tank it is, but it looks nice. I like the details.
I'll be right back. I gotta go yell at somebody who's not doing their job.
No problem. I like the artwork on the side of that as well. The little horse or wolf or something. I can't quite tell what it is, but it's nice. Spare tracks. Oh, it's obviously the tank's not working, so they've got to go and check it out. I'm assuming that they haven't finished work on them quite yet. It's the Tamiya Panther D in 1/35th scale, says Phil. Cool. And Shane, been doing orc bike things. I like that. he's definitely going to hit someone with them chains, isn't he? Nice. Definitely two of them look the same and one of them looks different. No, actually, they're all a bit different, aren't they? Those two are quite similar, but there's definitely differences between the engines and guns on the side and different front fork things. So yeah, all good. Even Fox would like them bikes, says Steve. Yes, I think he would. Back end of an Ork. Nice. Red as well, so it's the next best thing to orange. Yeah, scary. I like the base as well. Very nice basing on that. Some sort of like crystalline something or other. Dave says it's got an all candle on it. So you can pick him up. All candles. Spid stuck backstage, let me out. I can't see you at the moment. I've got the sharing of the thing. Alright, I'll come along. There we go. We have a wild Spids arrived.
Ah, I'm there. Ah, cool. You can see me.
Well, I can see. I saw your message in the chat to say you're stuck in backstage.
Yeah.
Let me out because I can't see backstage at the moment because I'm looking at the
Oh, right. No, it's all right. I wondered if it was my phone that was, because my phone's just really severely dying. So.
Oh, right. No, you were definitely there, but I couldn't see because
cool. That's okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. I had to pop in and see you tonight because I would just miss you terribly this Sunday with you not being here and everything. So
I won't be there on Sunday. I'll be somewhere else on Sunday. And you were thinking about being able to make it, but you couldn't.
Sadly, no. I was sort of looking at possibilities, but
no. There's always next year. You can plan it in advance.
I just wish
that. Just as well you've turned up because I've just come across the picture that you put up.
What went? Oh, that one. It's not me. I didn't do that.
No, sadly. You didn't do that. But I'd seen it previously, but hadn't done anything with it. But you obviously found it and copied it. It's actually a 144 plane that he's working on as well.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that first struck me. At first, I thought it was just like, oh wow, that's impressive work on a 144, and then I thought, hang on, where's the rest of it?
Yeah. Well, I saw it. I don't know if I saw it that picture or from a different angle, and it just thought, yeah, that's just a picture. Why it's round? It's cut and framed to that. But then I thought, no, wait a minute. Hey. It's very impressive.
I looked at it, and at first I thought I was just looking at the model, thinking, "Oh, that's really nice detail for a little," And then I thought, "Well, hang on.
There's something not quite right about those fingers."
But isn't that impressive? Seriously impressive. Unless, of course, we've got some really sick sort of person out there who's just hacked off a model.
Hacked off someone's hands, and yeah, it could be. I mean, I'm concerned about the working practices because it's just a bit too cluttered, and
yeah, it is.
Everything's just a little bit too close, and yeah, you should have spread things out a little bit more. But
yeah, there's definitely going to be some knocking of things over going on there.
Yep.
But yeah, very impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive handwork, hand painted.
Steve says that's the cleverest Dio. Such a good idea. It is very impressive. Yeah.
Mm. Can I ask, however?
You can ask.
How on earth have you not seen Kelly's Heroes?
How have I not seen Kelly's Heroes? I've not seen lots of war films because they just don't appeal to me.
But it's not a war film as such. It's
but it so is, isn't it?
It's not.
I've not seen The Godfather either.
Well, that I can understand because I've seen it, but only kind of under duress because it was on at a friend's and it was like, oh, I suppose I'll sit and watch it, and that's not my cup of tea at all. I can't be doing with Italian.
I've been shouted at by several friends for not having seen The Godfather because it's like it's one of the classics. You got to watch that.
No, mafia monster nonsense. Unless it's a comedy, I just can't be bothered. It's not my cup of tea. But Kelly's Heroes is. I mean, admittedly, I kind of got stuck watching lots of war films growing up with my dad because my dad was a big fan of war. John Wick, cowboy films, all that kind of stuff. But I like them if they're very well done and they're a good story based on real events. But Kelly's Heroes is just sheer entertainment. It's brilliant. The characters.
Okay, I'll add it to the list.
You've definitely got to watch it. You have it, and I guarantee.
If it's on Prime or Netflix or whatever, I'll watch it.
I'm sure it
later,
must be.
but
Sure
it might not be.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite an old film now. So.
I shall look for it later. You have to remind me, but I'll look for it later.
It's so good, and Oddball is the best character ever. But yeah, those tanks.
In Bond, he's in one of the Bond films, isn't he? The little guy with a hat.
No, that's Odd Job.
Right. Is he related?
Odd Job.
Yeah, I'm being shouted at in the chat now. Dad says you've got to watch Kelly's Heroes.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Zadster says it's a comedy adventure film.
Yeah.
Phil Lewis says it's a heist movie set in the war. And
yeah, basically it is. Yeah.
Jamie Bone says Kelly's Heroes is brilliant, but not as good as Fury. I haven't seen that either.
Oh, get out of town! Get that man out of the chat immediately. How dare he? Fury is good and entertaining, but come on. Kelly's Heroes.
No, I haven't seen it. Steve says Kelly's Heroes is one of the finest heist films ever made.
Yeah.
Great memorable characters, says Zesta.
Is the reason it's called a Hollywood Tiger is it's one of the earlier appearances of a modified T-34, which is obviously back when they didn't have Tiger tanks.
Zadster says it's up there with Where Eagles Dare for being an enjoyable romp. I haven't seen that one either.
That's a good, but it's not in the same. I mean, Where Eagles Dare is not really a comedy, whereas Kelly's Heroes definitely.
Okay, I like comedies. I like to laugh.
It's good. It's good.
It's
not like a silly comedy, but it's got lots.
Yeah, I don't mind serious comedies. That's fine.
Yeah.
Edward's been doing Gundams. There we go. That's got lots of wing things on it. I don't know what type of Gundam that is either, but white and blue. But yeah, or purple.
It's a flyy, wingy, flappy
one.
We need George to tell us.
Definitely got all the shooty things in it.
It's got tubes. It's a tube.
They're fuel tanks. I know that much because they're the same on the other one. The Sazabi's got them on it. And these are fins, but I don't know what they do.
Right. They look like wings. Are they not wings?
No, I don't think he needs them to fly.
They don't flap or anything.
No, I don't think they flap. I think they got lasers that come out of them and stuff.
Okay.
I'll probably be shouted at in the chat because getting it wrong or something, but yeah.
It's
quite Sazabi-ish. He's got the same skirts.
Yeah. I was hearing the thing about the scribing tool.
Oh, yes.
And when I saw that picture, I thought, scribing tool too. And out of curiosity, I dug mine out because I threw the packet away long ago. And apparently mine's a plastic scriber too. So I don't know if there was a one version. But
maybe they forgot to put a handle on it and it cut people's fingers off, so they didn't actually mark it.
I have no idea. One thing I noticed, though, is Fox mentioned on one of his streams way back when that the Tamiya scriber that he's got has got the scribing tool is flat at one side and curved on the other.
Okay.
But mine's not. It's a V.
Have you got two extra blades in the handle or something?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Are they all the same?
Yep. They are.
Cynical Steve says I need to watch Where Eagles Dare as well. And Force 10 from what's it's called, says Butcher.
Force 10 from
Navarone, yeah. Phil Lewis says tubes. Edward says fin funnels. Steve says Force 10 from Navarone was pants. Now Guns of Navarone is a different story and far superior.
Yeah, Guns of Navarone is better. Force 10 from Navarone's okay. It's okay.
I don't know.
What's the one with the South African guy?
I don't know.
Oh, damn it.
And that's
it's actually, I think
that's Lethal Weapon 2. No, wait, that was different.
Oh, I can't remember.
Jason Cumming put this one picture up saying that I appear in the strangest of places.
Yes, I saw that earlier and I was looking at that picture for ages thinking, before I realised it said one gross. And then it's like, I see what you did there. Another one for a highly enjoyable romp of a movie is my memory. It's literally just gone straight out of my head. I'll be back in a moment.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, no. It'll come back to you later. These were the things that I did on Sunday.
North Sea Hijack.
North Sea Hijack.
North Sea Hijack. It's got the guy from Psycho, who dressed up as his mum and stabbed people, and Roger Moore.
Okay, and I assume it's about
Anthony-
a hijack somewhere in the North Sea.
Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Hopkins is different.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins is the
It's
fastest Indian guy, isn't he?
it's Hannibal Lecter, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, Anthony Perkins and Roger Moore.
Okay,
Not see hijack. It's brilliant.
cool. I like the detail on these. There's
Well, these
just
are your
so
little-
much detail. These are the little, basically
little
144 Aeronautica Imperialis series.
These are the ones that you built in the last Sunday's stream.
I
Aren't
did
they?
these on Sunday. Yep, yeah.
Mm.
Down
Do you
there,
know
you
what-
can see the little edge of my weed knob, just in the corner of the picture there. That I can't build on camera because of resin and breathing.
Uh-huh. You know what you're going to do paint-wise for them?
Yes, I shall be painting them. I have no idea. One of them is going to be orange because reasons.
Well-
there will be 4 of them. So there's another 2, basically the same, but I'll be swapping them around. Might put the different tail
Right.
planes between them, and different cockpits
Yeah.
on. But yeah, so yeah, I'll do them all 4 different colours. I don't know. I'll dig around and find what I can find.
Hmm.
We've got more pictures. Mark's put up some the big version of
the big
of those, basically. Does that mean I've got the tail on backwards or upside down, or is that just different?
I don't think.
Because I've got the big bits going down. I don't know.
I think with Warhammer stuff, technically you can't actually build them incorrectly.
Well, that's true, especially Orc stuff. I suppose you really just
You
can't.
just kind of throw it together and go with what you've got.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks lovely and grimy and grotty and no paint left on it. Basically, it's that old. And,
Yeah, I like
and
that. It's very
nasty.
grungy and looks
Yeah.
like it's been left out in the rain for years.
Orc stuff is always changeable, says Steve. Yeah.
Yes, I like that. Whose is that one?
That's Mark Dale.
Very
I
nice.
don't know if he's in the chat at the moment.
Very good.
And Phil's obviously put his tank on a dio.
Panther, I think. I think that's a Panther.
Yes, this is the one we were talking about earlier. I can't remember. I remember very little. Yeah, I like the. How many of these are 4-leaf clovers? That's what I want to know. Yeah, that
It's super
certainly
close up
grounds
shot.
it, doesn't it?
I do like these little vignette bases. With the, really adds
Yes,
to it
yeah.
on the build, I think.
Steve has been taking apart some sort of JCB type thing and turning it into something completely different.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll tell us in a minute,
Is
but
this
I'm sure that's a normal lifter thing, but backwards or upside down or sideways or something.
Right.
I don't know. It might not be.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it looks like it's sort of on its back, doesn't it? Like it's tipped over backwards. What's it going to make it into is the question.
No, I don't know. No, I mean, obviously the grippy arm thing is different. That's
Yes.
not part of the normal real world thing.
Mm.
I can't tell what that is. It's blurry. I can't see that. And that was the last picture of the week. So yes, Steve, if you're still about in the chat, tell us what is it? What are you doing with it? What's the plan?
Indeed.
I assume it was like a little Tonka toy or something, but are you still there?
There's actually some surprisingly good and accurate kids' toy earth moving machines and things. I've seen in
Yes.
toy stores.
Right,
some of
Steve's
them-
there. He says it's an excavator on its side with the arm upside down, so it can be a wall-mounted crane. In his dio, the blurry one is magnets. Ah, right, okay.
Okay.
So they're magnets. So let me get back to the magnet one, the blurry one. Yes, they're magnets, so you can stick it to the wall.
right. I
Cool.
see. Very good.
Very nice. Right, I shall stop sharing because that's the sharing done. If you didn't get your picture in this week, let's go to the Dallas Slyly. If you didn't get your picture seen this week, then post it up again, or I'll just go through the pictures. If you put it in a folder, they might not appear, so just put a couple up individually. If it's a video, then again, it doesn't get in the picture thing. So if you do have a video or anything you want me to show, remind me, because I have to go to a different place to find the videos.
Well, I've not submitted anything this week because I am still severely lacking in mojo.
Well, you did. You submitted the hands.
Well, yes, but
none of your own work.
I've not submitted anything that I've done personally, but
No, well, the only thing I submitted was the picture of the 2 completed jets that I just took an hour ago.
Yeah. I've just not been feeling it at all recently. I've still got my sort of nearby sat there in various components, and I will eventually get the oomph to get in there and put some paint on things and start getting sub-assemblies together. So no, once I break past that, it's just some of the bits I just finding the.
Yeah, I haven't had much mojo to do any real building. So the Warhamster thing was obviously, I don't consider that to be building, although it is, but it's sort of separate and fits in its own time slot, and it just sits there quietly out the way.
Yeah, I know. Well, I suppose it's because it's your live stream thing, but it's still building, isn't it?
Yeah, but no, but yeah, but no.
Yes.
So yes, I will at some point do some more. My next thing in my mind that I'm going to do is dig out the rat from over there, the Land Cruiser thing, and get that painted. It's all built. I just need to paint it.
Yeah, I was. I remember you building that one. Yeah. Did you build? Is the one that came with the 2 little mouse?
Yeah, the 2 little mouse things. I've done them. They're done and dusted and finished. But the thing, Dave Butcher that model says, Pip says you need a shave. I did it. I shaved earlier.
Get a shave. It's graceful. Look at this.
This is as shaved as it gets. Doesn't get any more shaved than that, apart from the height of summer. If it gets really, really hot, I might shave it off once. But then it comes back, and it comes back whiter.
That's a good reason not to shave
the white's definitely getting higher. It's just sort of edging in here at the moment a little bit. But
I know that someone every time I grow mine, somebody comes in and paints little bits of it. Why?
Yeah, it's quite scary.
Yeah.
But
I must do it at night while I'm sleeping because I never see them do it.
No. Then again, you might not be very observant. You might just not notice.
This is true. This is true.
Yes. Is that you in the private chat? Yes, it's you in the private chat. You put messages everywhere. I couldn't really see any of the messages.
No, I put because I thought I didn't know if it was my phone because my phone I've literally just got a new phone, so I'm kind of setting it all up with everything. And this old one, it just started dying. I just not long back up to my holidays with my boy, and in fact, no, it started playing up on the way back about a day before. So I'm sort of crossing my fingers frantically, thinking, "Don't die on the way back," because this is my sat nav as well.
Yeah.
And I'm okay. It's just sort of navigating around Glasgow. Is a frigging nightmare. If you've ever had to drive around Glasgow, you know exactly what I mean.
I've driven in Scotland, but I don't know that I've ever driven in Glasgow.
From Glasgow back up Hull, no problem. From Glasgow down the motorway to Yorkshire, no problem. And once I get to Sheffield, I know it fairly well. But driving around Glasgow itself is a nightmare to navigate. So I kind of rely on the sat nav to stop me.
I rely on the sat nav going to the shops.
Yeah.
Colin's in Festus 67's workshop. Good evening, welcome.
Hi, Col.
And then everybody's just saying hello to him. So that's the way the chat normally goes. I won't bother bringing up all of those messages. You're obviously not around on Sunday, but I am. So Telford on Sunday is the big scale model world. Apparently the biggest model show in the world. I don't know how they say that, but
in the world,
I'm sure there must be bigger. But they say it is, so they should know.
I'd be surprised at that. I would have thought they'd have like enormous ones in Japan.
I would have thought so as well, but I don't know how they categorise it as biggest. If it's biggest venue or biggest number of traders or
maybe
admissions
it's the biggest Telford model show in the world.
Biggest model show in the world that's held in Telford in November. Yeah.
That's called Telford Model Show.
So yes, I shall be there on Sunday. If you're coming, come and say hello. Because I don't know what you look like. Well, I know what some of you look like, but I don't know what most of you look like. And unless you're walking around with a big sign that's got your YouTube name on it, and I'm looking for gross models, then I won't recognise you or see you. So if you see me, come and say hello, give me a hug. I've got stickers with me, so yep. Colin's asking, is it Telford this week? Because he got a bit confused. Poor Colin.
No, that was last week, Colin. You missed it.
Yeah, it was last week. Yeah. Yes, it's this week. It's happening on Saturday and Sunday, but I'm not there Saturday. I'm there Sunday. I'll be there from pretty much when it opens, assuming I can get there in traffic and stuff. I'll be leaving at some ungodly time in the morning. Going to pick up Paul and then driving all the way up north.
It's not up north.
It's a long way up north, Telford. It's a long way up north. It's like 2.5 hour drive up north.
Down south. It's an even longer way down south.
So yes, I'll be there. The plan is that about midday I'll be on the inside, but near the entrance bit where you sort of come in. There's normally a little cafe sort of stall thing doing tea and coffee. So I'll be around there somewhere at midday for a bit. So if you can't find me wearing my bright orange hoodie, walking around sometime, then try and get to there about midday, and hopefully I'll be there for, I don't know, like 20 minutes, half hour or something, just to have a focal point.
If it turned out to be like National Dutch Day and everyone was wearing orange.
This is a possibility. Yeah. If it's someone wearing like a high vis vest with luminous stripes on it, that's not me. That's probably security or something, or the roof fell down and they're workmen. If it's a Gross Models branded hoodie that I'm wearing, I'll probably be wearing the E-Models jacket as well. That's over the back of the chair. It's got that on the breast and a big one of those on the back. So if you see one of those going around, it's either me or Ted. So
Ted's going to be there on Sunday, is he?
Ted has decided he's going on the Sunday as well. So yes. So at some point in the afternoon, no doubt, there'll be a group of us that have met up. And say Dad and Dave are going to be there as well. So I'm sure we'll sort of wander around in a big group. But if you see me there, with or without accompaniment, then by all means come over and say hello.
Have you got any plans of buying anything other than a scribing tool? Then?
No, I have a shopping list that includes one Scriber Mark II, and that's about it. I mean, I might well pick up other things as I see them around, but I've got nothing.
I suspect something will be bought.
2-hour drive to pick up a Scriber seems kind of much.
Well, no, I'm taking Paul with me, and he's obviously got a massive shopping list of stuff to buy.
That's normal for me to go shopping, George.
Oh, jeez.
That's his local chip shop.
If I want to go to town, it's a 2-hour drive. That's normal.
Steve says, sadly, I'm working this weekend. The rain has caused many faults in the telecoms network that need to be fixed, and he's drawn the short straw for unwanted overtime. Oh, that is a pain.
Yeah, whereabouts are you, Steve? Apparently, I've had a friend from Yorkshire, from Barnsley, said that around Barnsley and Sheffield, South Yorkshire, there's been a lot of flooding.
All right, Steve's up in Manchester or Manchester area.
So not too far.
So,
yeah. Yeah, because it's dry up here. It's bloody freezing, but dry. But apparently all around sort of South Yorkshire there's been lots of flooding, so I'm told.
Yeah, it's not good. Haggis says, bought my darling wife a sat-nav just so she could find the kitchen. Impressive, yep. Collins has the Mark II, it's brilliant. Yeah, I think everyone's got the Mark II.
Has anybody got the Mark 1? We need to know if there is a Mark 1 and what's different about it.
LD's going on Saturday, I think. You're not sure? It's only this weekend, you've got to make a decision. But yeah, I won't be there Saturday. Yeah. Sheffield's going to be busy for phone faults, says Asda. Don't know why. It's not stopped raining for 3 days, says Steve. It's been really sunny here today. It's been nice. Very bright.
Right. Well, it's been dry. It's not been sunny, but it's been dry. Yeah, but no, apparently, as I've heard, it's been raining non-stop.
Yeah. Dad's going on the Saturday and the Sunday, so he's going to look out for LD. And Dave will be walking around in a group looking for Tat to wind up Fox. Yeah, that's the main other thing that we will be buying. Got to find the traditional box of rubbish for Fox.
Looking for an extra widge.
Yeah, an extra large painted widge. Yeah. LD says he'll ping Dad on Messenger. Yeah, that's a good point. If you are there and can't find me or don't find me or whatever, you can always give me a shout through the Facebook page or whatever, and I'll check that occasionally to see if anybody's around looking for me. So, yeah, that's always there. Jamie says to Dave, just get a 1/16 Jar Jar Binks. I think we'd get him a 1-to-1 Jar Jar Binks. Life-size Jar Jar Binks that you can put in the corner of the room, and whenever he turns the corner into the room,
I want like a sensor on it, like those annoying Christmas ornaments. Every time he walks past, it says, "Misa doing something."
Misa, love you, Fox. Yeah, we're not that nasty, not at all. No, we wouldn't have thought about things like that.
The local post office, about 3 years ago, they used to have. They stopped putting it up because people must have complained, but they used to have a Santa. And every time you walked in through the door and passed the sensor on it, it would start sort of moving and jiggling about and singing Jolly Christmas songs. And I was in that one day.
Is this in June?
And, it wasn't a Christmas, I'll give them that. But one day I was in there waiting to be served at the counter, and a guy went in and poor guy, he nearly jumped out of his skin and almost attacked this thing. It was like, it must have been so on edge about something, I don't know what, but he walked in and it started and he jumped and he turned around as if he was about to jump on it and start pummeling it. Horrible things.
LD's going to have a Guru sticker on his jacket so folks will know. Yep, but you're there Saturday, so I won't see you anyway. So there you go. Dad says, won't miss me, a bright red fleece. Yeah, Dad's got a bright red fleece. You see it in the pictures of the
red
we had to Warhammer. It's very red. Dad's one. Yeah.
Well, that's not like Mike at all, is it?
No, I thought he nearly got a blue one, but yeah.
What a strange colour choice. Very odd.
It's unusual, and he's going to have a little bloke next to him as well, because yeah.
Well,
no. Sorry.
Is Paul going this year as well?
Paul is going this year as well. Yeah, I'll be having Paul in tow as well.
Good.
So yeah, there'll be a mob of us, but there's lots of people there.
It's good to know there'll be somebody sensible there to make sure that you make sensible purchases.
Who's that then? Oh, Ted. Yeah. Yeah.
Ted, yes.
Yeah, Dad got his fleecy jacket from my suppliers of jackets and shirts and things, and I was going to pop over the road and say, you know that red one you've ordered, can you just make it blue? And, yeah, no, I didn't. No, I thought about no. That would have been nasty. No. Dave's going to confuse them all. He's going to stand on a box. You don't have to carry it around with you though, and carry 2 boxes. You can put one down in front of you and step on that, and then pick up the one behind you and put it in front of you.
2 small boxes and gaffer tape them to your shoes.
Yeah. Just wear big boots.
Oh, they're big platforms. Those like 70s platforms.
Yeah, but for Dave to be like a normal height person, he'd have to have like a 3-foot platform, and I'm sure he'd twist his ankles. He'd be wouldn't be good. Dad says, "Don't even go there." No, I wouldn't. Orange. I might make it orange for you.
That's close to red.
That's his stilts. I can see Dave going around on stilts. Oh no.
Talking of stilts, who remembers pogo sticks?
Pogo sticks?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not anything like stilts.
No, but you same kind of principle. You've got the little foot things that you stand on, but you bounce on them.
Well, yeah, but
who among us could actually use the damn things without almost crippling yourself?
When you say use, how many bounces do you need?
Bounce more than twice before you fall.
More than twice? Yeah, I could do about 4.
Oh no, I could manage about 2 at the absolute most if I really went for it.
Not very high, but definitely bouncing enough to
I
leave
tended
the ground.
to kind of, on the second bounce, my momentum either went backwards or forwards far too much, so that as it hit the floor, it just. I was not.
My youngest is determined to beat the world record for pogo sticking. Oddly enough, I don't know why. She's up to like 400 bounces before falling over. So
What's the world record then?
It's like thousands, I think. You got to be bouncing for hours, like 18 hours. Or something.
I'm going to say it's going to take a long time to do a large number of bounces. It's like,
yeah. No,
what do you do about toilet breaks or?
I don't know how that works. She found the
I'm
book,
sorry for the bugger that's counting it as well.
and that's her dream.
Well, that's all right. It's good to have a dream.
That's a good goal to have. Good
Yeah.
on her.
Skullfish says, I used to be able to go up and down stairs on them. Oh, are we talking about stilts or pogo sticks? Because, well, going downstairs on them is easy.
You must be very brave or very, very stupid. Wow. Ooh. Oh,
Yeah,
just
no, going downstairs on stilts or a pogo stick is very, very easy. It's like the magician's cutting a woman in half. It's easy.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
the second half of it that's
It's the
the difficult
second
bit. But yeah.
Yeah, going downstairs on pretty much anything's easy. It's just not so much going up.
No. Or surviving at the end of it is, yeah.
No.
Zadster says, with world records, 5 minutes an hour is usually allowed for breaks. That's interesting. So it's just a combination of bouncing for 55 minutes and then you get 5 minutes off for
Yeah,
toilet
but that's
break or snack break, and then start
You
again.
stop and go, aren't you? That really shouldn't be allowed. If you're stopping, it shouldn't be allowed, should it? Because you're stopping and starting again.
Zadster says, doing, bum, 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 bum. That's speed going downstairs on a
Yes, yeah. That's probably
two boings followed by
probably
rapid
one
thumping.
less going downstairs. I think I'd be lucky to manage one. But, oh no, I won't want to try that. No. I think the height of my daredevil skills was jumping a 10 brick high ramp on a friend's Grifter XL back in the day when just as BMXs were becoming a thing.
10 brick high.
10 house bricks.
As in normal 10 bricks stacked 10 high.
Yeah, as in 10
That's
10 house bricks. It is, and it failed spectacularly. Partly due to inadequate childhood engineering skills.
Because you just put the 10 bricks up and put a bit of wood on it.
We basically had 2 lots of 10 bricks, which we put up side by side, and then just sat the ramp on them without thinking about how steep it was and extra support and that kind of thing. And the board was nice and firm. It was good, really good thick ply board that my dad had been using for something that we nicked off the backyard. And I hit the ramp. I built up a nice turn of speed, hit the ramp, and the whole lot collapsed as the bike was starting to go up it. And it just kind of went forward. The front wheel locked into the pile of bricks, and I went down incredibly painfully onto the crossbar and rolled around for about 10 minutes on the ground, making noises.
And you've never been quite the same since.
No. And it's a wonder that I ever actually had a child, in fact, but I did somehow manage that. So, that was painful.
It made me think of the videos you see online now of, parkour is amazing. When it's done properly, it just scares me. It's just great.
Oh, it's when they jump across gaps in buildings and things, and you think, oh, just one slightly wrong. Oh,
yeah. Well, worse than that is when you see them on the tops of the high rises doing handstands and things, and I don't see the point in that. The parkour, I like the idea of, but as a homeowner, if someone was doing that around, my fence and my walls and stuff, I'd be really annoyed.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, too right.
Apart from anything else that, you're swinging on that pole around that corner. If that pole breaks, then who's going to pay for repairing that? Eh? You're not going to. You're going to be running off down the road, aren't you?
Yeah. There's my son was showing me a video about some parkour. It was guys practicing this. I think it was a forward sort of somersault jump, and they were practicing on one of those underground tunnels that's a slope. So you've got 2 walls either side with a handrail, and it slopes down. So they were practicing across that, so they've not got a huge fall. And one of them completely misjudged, hit the edge of the wall. His feet slipped off, went down, hit the wall, and then bounced back. And I mean, just watching that, and you think, oh, is he going to get back up? He did, but it's one. But oh no, just no.
Colin says he broke his leg trying to do Evel Knievel on a rally grifter. My proudest moment as I cleared 3 mates laying down and 6 milk crates. Very cool. So were there 7
That
milk
is
crates then,
impressive.
or and you cleared 6 of them, or how did
That
it
is
go wrong?
impressive.
I'm assuming
No,
the mates were laying down sideways, not lengthways.
I have actually been one of 5 people laid down while somebody jumped, and I'd done it a few times, and I always very cleverly made sure I was the very first person.
I don't know about the first person, because if the ramp collapses, then you're just going to get ridden into.
Yeah, yes, but generally you were safer, I think, if you were the
I
first.
think you want to be the second person,
Second would probably be quite good.
because
But
there's a good chance that they're going to clear you, but not so much chance that they're just going to ride into the side of you.
Then you're still, still quite dangerous.
Zazda says he broke his arm doing stunts on a rally arena. They weren't really made for that. I don't remember the rally arena, but no, obviously not. And Colin does say yes, he hit the 7th, so he cleared 6, but there were 7 or 8, and he just.
I do remember trying to jump a rally chopper. That wasn't fun because they're not made for stunts. Not at all.
Skullfish says grifters were the tank equivalent to BMXs.
Yeah. Well, the Grifter XL was like, it was just pre BMX. It was just before BMX really took off over here. BMX was huge in America at the time, and it was just getting known in the UK. And the Grifter XL was the nearest thing to a BMX you could get at the time. And I remember it was actually a friend of my brother's, so it's a friend by proxy. And I remember him being very upset with me because I buckled this front wheel. But I was a bit more upset about the sort of intense pain in my groinal area.
Well, talking about groinal areas, Dave says I broke something when the bed collapsed, but that's a story for another day. Dad says I remember the Sturmey Archer. I don't remember the Sturmey Archer.
Sturmey Archer gears, yeah.
Is that going back even further?
You remember you'd got your lever types that you had on your sort of racing bikes.
Yeah.
And then the Sturmey Archers were the ones that were like a little thumb lever, I think.
Oh, right.
Right. Is that right, Mike? I think they were. They were like a little thumb lever, and you've just flipped them up or down, so you could reach them as your hand was on the throttle.
Yeah, he says that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were called Sturmey Archer gears, and because the rally chopper had the little gear stick in the middle.
I remember that one. Yeah.
The 3-speed, and the Sturmey Archers were on the Grifter. I think it's a while ago. I might not be quite right on that, but I think they were the Grifters. Yeah.
Colin says it came just after the hobby horse walking bike, eh, Dad? I don't think it was quite that far back. Yeah, they did have wheels. They'd invented the wheel by then. So.
Retrofitted them to his penny farthing.
Yeah, well, that's when they invented the wheels, but couldn't get both the same size.
I'd love to have a go at riding a penny farthing. I bet it's hilarious.
I bet it's dangerous because it's a long way to fall.
Oh yeah. I imagine it's getting going is the key, isn't it? It's getting started, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of like skateboarding, but probably less dangerous. Skateboarding is something else I was hoping.
Skateboarding, you got again less height to fall off of.
Yeah, but it's still painful because usually you start going and then you realise the skateboard's going faster than you.
You can't realise you can't get off because it's going too quick.
Yes.
Twist grip gears, says Haggis. Yeah, I remember them. Yep.
Yes, yeah.
That was not having to worry about flicking anything, just like rev it up. But yeah.
I'm trying to remember all
bikes of yesteryear.
Yeah. the one I've got one at the moment, but it's not actually mine. It's one that is on loan from a friend because his brother took his and his wife's bike to his dad's garage while they were doing up the garage for some such. Yep. They were stuck there for ages and ages and ages. And then when he said, "Are you going to take these things back or what?" It's like, "Oh, we bought some new ones. Keep them there; they'll be all right." I was like, "Oh, thanks."
So
last time I was around there, I was talking about getting out and exercising. He says, why don't you take one of these back with you? It's like, I'm not fitting in the car. And they're folding ones, folding mountain
Oh, right,
bike.
yeah.
I was like, oh, cool. Oh, you know. So I've kind of got one on long-term loan, which is pretty nifty, and made me realise how incredibly unfit I was. Even when you think, when you walk quite a bit, you think you're quite fit, but turns out I'm not. But prior to that, the last bike I had was, I very briefly bought a cheap mountain bike that I stuck an engine in, a 2-stroke engine, because I couldn't. I only had that for about a month before the novelty wore off on a Sunday. But my last proper bike was a 12-speed, fully chromed racer, which I loved. I thought it was great. I used to ride everywhere on that back in my fit youth before I discovered cigarettes and motorbikes and all that. So
I've got a friend that's into the downhill biking.
these
Sort of
nutters
just
go
like
right
going,
through the woods.
yeah.
And,
It's like
I've
massive
seen
air
some
and
of
things. It's like, I don't fancy that at all.
Have you seen the one with the guy that gets attacked by a bear?
No.
He's
I
in.
don't think that's likely around here, though.
No, it's not likely around here, but he's obviously somewhere like Canada, and it's somebody's onboard video. So you obviously got the guy in front, and then whoever's on a bike behind him filming it. And they're both barreling down this forest track through these woods or whatever, jumping over these things. Then all of a sudden, this brown bear or something comes belting out of the thing. It goes completely off the track, and sort of luckily for him, ends up barreling down this hill to safety. But obviously taking straight off the bike. But I mean, because you're watching it expecting, he's going to hit a tree root and just go tumbling off or something, like one of these. But no, it actually gets attacked by a bear. It's
a bit scary, yeah.
Right. I bet he needed a change of underwear after that, tell you.
I would expect so, yeah. Jamie says, what about chopper bikes? We were talking about bikes.
Yeah.
And Steve said, never had a chopper, but I had a budgie when I was very young, which was a kind of a baby chopper.
Yeah.
I don't remember budgie. I had a chipper, which I thought was the smaller version of the chopper.
I think, wasn't the budgie a small version of the chopper without the gears? I've
got no memory of a budgie at all.
I've heard the name, but choppers are hugely collectible now.
Really?
Like really collectible. I used to be a motorbike shop called CMC, Chesterfield Motorcycle Centre, funnily enough in Chesterfield, which is no longer there. And they had
Chesterfield's no longer there. Someone's nicked an entire town.
Took it last time I went. It just gone. They had a showroom full of bikes, and they had a few old sort of classic motorbikes restored and for sale and what have you. And in the window for about 8 months, they had a rally chopper, and it was something like 1,500 quid. And I remember there was a pricing on it, and I asked one of the guys once when I was in, because they used to have it was a gathering place on a Sunday. They had a burger van outside. And on a Sunday, everyone used to go out for a ride up, and then they'd all sort of meet up there about lunchtime and have a burger and a cup of tea and just wander around the showroom and look at the bikes. And I asked one of the salesmen, "Is that for real?" It's like, "Oh yeah, they're massively collectible,
Really?
Because they're really rare, and because there's such an unusual design with the large back wheel, small front one, and everybody who wants to sort of relive the 70s wants one of these to hang on the wall in the room or just to, and they're ridiculously collectible and expensive.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically anything's collectible if somebody decides they want it.
Oh yeah, but these are like selling money collectible.
Yeah, well, people only decide they want something because they become rare, but it's the stuff that you think that's never going to become rare that often does, because everybody just, there's thousands of these, I'm just going to bin it.
Well, that's what happened to them all, isn't it? I mean, they were a bike that they were never very good at anyway. They were a stupid design when all said and done, because tiny front wheels, not conducive to good road holding, steering or anything.
Yep.
So they kind of died out, and lots of them will have just rusted away, got thrown onto tips or whatever.
Exactly.
So they've become rare because of that.
Jamie says, I thought budgies didn't have wheels, I thought they had wings. And Steve says, not that sort of budgie, I'd have got battered if I tried riding any of Nana's budgies. Apparently AJ had budgie smugglers. Yeah, not quite the same.
No, not quite the same. No.
There was a smaller version of the chopper called the Chipper, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty sure I
I
had
never
one.
heard
Yeah.
of that. I'm going to Google that. Hang on. Never heard of that. I'm going to have a look and see what the budget was because I remember the name.
Just Google budgie. I'm sure you won't get anything strange at all.
Budgie bicycle. First recommendation on Google: budgie smugglers.
Oh, of course. Steve says just off down the park on Bobby and Joey. Nan won't be long. Yeah, no, Bobby and Joey. Of course, that's obviously budgie names. So yeah.
Well, it was kind of like it was like a little kid's chopper, but with same size wheels. Where's my thingy?
Is that a budgie?
That's a budgie.
Okay. What's a chipper then? It's going to be something to do with potatoes, isn't it?
Chipper. Not a copper, a chipper. No, apparently the chipper is like, no, that's a chopper. No,
Did you spell it wrong?
It is kind of like a larger budgie, so it's
somewhere between the two.
It's same size wheels.
Yeah, that works familiar. The yellow probably as well. I don't know. Yeah.
So it's
remember
the
stupid seat.
Same size wheels, but it's more like a chopper. I've never heard of the chipper.
Shane says it's the same with anything now. Yamaha RD500 from the 80s is £12,500, and Mark 1 Escort Mexico 20 grand plus.
There's a chopper on
It's just
eBay.
silly.
Chopper on eBay is £2,400. Whether it'll sell at that, I don't know. But
No, but yeah, the fact that they're even thinking about asking it is just mental.
that's terrifying, isn't it? I mean, they were bloody awful anyway, so why anyone would actually want?
Well, it's not going to be rid, is it? Not for that money. You're just going to frame it and put it on a wall or something. Or
Wouldn't dare ride it, would you?
you're not going to ride it.
I mean, I wince when I've got a friend of mine down in Sheffield. He used to ride racing bikes competitively, and an old one of his he was selling recently, and something like 1,500 quid. And when I said, "God, that's expensive," he said, "Yeah, but it cost like 2,750 to build." I was like, "What? That's more than any car I've ever owned."
Well, I mean, bikes now can be silly expensive.
Yeah. Oh, this thing,
carbon frames and.
Yeah, I don't know what the frame was on this. It was some kind of metal, but it was so light you could sort of pick it up like that. It was crazy. And the tires on it, I thought the racer that I had when I was younger had thin tires. But these things, you could slice cheese with them. They're ridiculous. But yeah, silly money. And I sort of wince when I look at things like that. So, but why anyone would pay that for a vintage?
Shane says the Yamaha Fizzy, I don't know what that is, was 300 when you were in 77. Now they make 5,000.
Yamaha FS1E, they were what they called a sports moped. 56C, but they were motorbike shaped, and they had gears, and they had pedals to start them. The original ones, they're the ones that are really, really collectible.
Yeah.
They had bicycle pedals, so you'd pedal to start the engine, and then off you go. The later ones had kickstart and standard foot pegs, but yeah, they're fetching stupid money. FS1E, and they've got called Fizzy as a nickname. And they fetch silly money, but people buy them and do the same with them, stick them in the living room on display. Because again, nobody in the right mind. They were like the moped that all the young 16-year-olds aspired to, rather than having a little Honda Vision or a Honda Melody or something like your granny shopping moped. Had something that looked like a real motorbike, but they were still a 50cc.
Colin says Rally did it in threes: the budgie, chipper, and chopper, then the striker, boxer, and grifter. Also the tomahawk. I don't know, was there another two tomahawks?
I remember the tomahawk.
Steve says he worked with a bloke who does the Ironman triathlons. His bike is $4,000.
Oh, I can believe it. Yeah, it's crazy.
And he only uses it a third of the time.
It's carrying it the other 2/3 though, probably.
Yeah, well, you don't want to know what his budgie smugglers are cost. Yeah.
Then they do that thing where they trip the bike over the shoulders and run up hills as well. So I
No,
suppose
not allowed to do that in the triathlon. I'm pretty sure you have to ride it. The
No, I
triathlon's
mean,
riding, swimming, and
you
cycling, isn't
you
it?
have to ride it, but isn't there a bit where you sort of like carry it as well?
I don't
Or
think
am I
so.
thinking
I
something
think
else?
that's cheating.
I might be thinking of something else. But yeah, oh, it's crazy money. No, as I said, this lad Steve, he doesn't do it competitively anymore. He's
You can't afford it.
well, partly can't afford it, and you know these annoying little things called families that get in the way. But
Yeah.
no, he's well, actually, the main reason is because he's focusing on his daughter's getting into motocross and stuff, and he's sort of sold up a lot of stuff and bought like little motocross bikes and takes her out riding and training and that kind of thing. But yeah, he was really into it. He had the whole get up, the whole lycra, and you know, and he could annoyingly like cycle for miles and then still hold a conversation without sort of wheezing and taking half an hour to catch his breath.
Shane says he got an argument with a policeman when he was 16 on his Fizzy, whatever it called, Fizzy.
Yeah.
He says, I shouldn't be riding it as a moped as it had pedals. I was doing 60 when he stopped him.
Yeah, the early ones were actually pretty nippy and you could tune them as well. It wasn't until much later they put restrictions on to make them 30 mile an hour. But the problem was, and again it comes to rarity, the problem with these and the reason they are as rare as they are, because there were thousands and thousands of things, is because a lot of them were tuned to death. Like literally they were tuned until they blew up. It's like the same with a lot of 125s, 1252 strokes, your RDs and things. They were just tuned until they died. But no, obviously that policeman was terribly misinformed and didn't have his facts right at all, because the early ones, they had pedals because of the moped laws. There was something to do with the laws at the time, which meant they had
That's some sort of exception.
Yeah, so it wasn't until later that they got standard foot pegs and a Kickstarter. Do you remember, you mentioned catalogues earlier, do you remember in the old catalogues, right, you could actually buy Tomos mopeds?
All right, I don't remember. I never used to look for mopeds in them.
They were like a lady's shopping bike shape.
Right.
They had a basket on the front, but they were the same thing. They were 50cc with pedals and pedal start. And they were TOMOS, Tomos mopeds. And you could buy them in the catalogues, along with a helmet and gloves and all that kind of thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yes, Littlewoods catalogues kept me.
Littlewoods, and there was another one. I can't remember what the other one was.
An hour as a youth, I'm not mentioning which.
What was the other catalogue? There was Littlewoods, and there was another one.
Empire.
Empire? No, I don't remember Empire.
Yeah, it had a butterfly shape, I think. Littlewoods and Empire.
I'm sure it wasn't Empire. Sure, we had a different one that wasn't Empire. I can't remember.
Maybe, I don't know. There probably were more, but you probably had a posh Southern one.
It's probably, different ones down there. Shadowlands says Woolworths. It wasn't a Woolworths catalogue, no.
A catalogue?
Sure. Lewis Williamson's in. Good evening. Everyone's in now. There, Grattan's. That was the one. K's and Grattan's. It was Grattan's catalogue. Yeah.
On K's, yeah.
That's the one I remember. I knew someone would know it. Freeman, says Shane Young.
Yeah. Blimey, loads of them. I remember Empire because my mum was like local rep for the Empire catalogue. She used to do the whole handing out and taking everyone's orders and all that business.
I never remember anyone doing the catalogues. We always used to have the catalogues and we used to just look through them. But it was always like, it would cost so much more, but you can pay £2.36 a week or whatever.
I think that's why they were so popular in the north of England, because we were all sort of very working class North England, South Yorkshire and Manchester and around that area. They were massively popular because, especially coming up to Christmases and things, because they could buy stuff and clothes for your kids and that kind of thing, and you pay £2.50 a week or whatever. Yep. So everything was more expensive, and it's and when everyone got to a point where money was better and we were all better off, that I think that's when they kind of started dying out, really. But they were very, very popular.
Lewis is an early finish on holiday now for Telford. Cool. As Dad says, what day? When are you going to Telford? Are you going to be there both days, Saturday or Sunday, or is there both? There we go. Cool. Keep an eye out on Sunday for me. Go and say hello. Right, Stewpot's in. Has a question. I need an airbrush spray booth. Any advice? Looks on eModels, not much there. That one. Hang about.
Yeah, there's a sort of basic
That's
folding one.
the
which-
basic folding
Yeah.
portable one, which everybody's got. Anybody's got one of them.
Yeah.
They're less than £100 now. They were about £60 when I got that 2 or 3 years ago or 4 years ago. But
And you can use for your filter material as well. You can use the stuff that they put in cooker hoods. You know, your extractor vents for cooker hoods.
Yep.
You can buy like those in big sheets from hardware stores. So you can just cut those to size and use those.
yeah, eModels had similar. I think they've changed the style. This is, I say, one of the original ones that came from wherever. eModels had one that was a slightly different shape at the sides, but the same. I think they've got lights built into them now as well and everything. So they'll be around. If not eModels, then other places. I'm not sponsored by eModels, so I can suggest anywhere. But yeah, they definitely are around, and they're fine. They do the job. You can get bigger, better ones, but it depends how much you're spraying and what you're spraying. If you're doing anything with the big,
The good thing
lacquers and
about
stuff like that,
those, they actually
big
fold up into like a suitcase size
Yeah.
thing, don't they?
Yep.
And they come with a little turntable, which I would show you, but I've got a pile of stuff
yeah.
outside mine.
Well, it's in there, but yeah,
But yeah, so you can just sit it down on the thing and revolve your things around. So they're quite nifty. They're not bad at all.
Yep.
See, that one of mine, I've actually got an old one, but that one there is one that.
it's a bit of wall in it.
It was that's just the shape of the filter thing, but that was from signpost makers up on the north of the island that was selling
right.
off a lot of stuff, and
Cool.
it's like a big industrial, powerful sucky thing.
Yep, we can hear that.
Which is quite loud, as you can hear, but it does.
Steve says my mam used to do the catalogs. Most people in the village would get stuff using a Christmas club scheme.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember that whole big Christmas catalogue fiasco that happened a few years ago? One of them that went bust. You know, they used to post those little small Christmas catalogues a couple of months before Christmas, and you could buy your Christmas cakes and your booze and all that kind of thing. And same kind of thing, you'd pay in throughout the year so much, and then you'd have so much saved up by the end of the year to buy your Christmas.
Yeah.
And there was one that was on the news probably about 15 years ago now. And it was all over the news because the company went bust and everybody lost a ton of money on it.
I remember something about that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's because you paid up in advance. You sort of like buying your sort
You
of
£1 a week or whatever, or
yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was.
can't remember the name of it, but I know it was one of those Christmas ones. Yeah, that stuff.
Right, well, it's approaching time, so I'm going to start wrapping up. Because we're thinking about Christmas now, so yeah. I'll get rid of you two, and then I'll get rid of everybody else. So, thanks for joining me, Spid.
You're very welcome.
As ever, if you want to stick around in the backstage, then feel free. I'll come back and chat to you afterwards. But if you want to go, then feel free as well.
I'm actually going to shoot off because I've got a few bits and bobs to do before I need to wrap up for the evening.
No problem. I shall catch you another time. Thank you very much for coming in.
My phone, I'm surprised it's actually lasted so well. It's well phone. So I will see you.
Right.
We'll see you next, but not on
See you around,
Sunday.
yeah. Not on
It's not
Sunday,
gonna
no.
be There's not going to be any war hamster. I'm gutted.
You can always watch an old one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Good night.
Anyway, good night, folks.
That's good.
Right, and George, thank you. You've been quite quiet sitting there. I know you've been doing working stuff, but yeah,
Yeah, that's
working through your plastic. But thanks for joining me. I'll catch you again later in the week sometime.
all right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. And everybody else, thank you all for joining me and the gang. And we'll see you at some point. As I say, there is no War Hamster this Sunday because I'm going to be out. and won't be back, or might be back in time, but will be tired and not wanting to do it. So no Warhamster this Sunday. Monday back to eModels as normal, and then next week back to here again. See who comes and joins me, what goes on. But if you are in Telford on Sunday, come and find me. As I say, it'll be eModels jacket, bright orange hoodie, and this face. So come and find me, because I don't know what you look like. You have to come and find me. Make you do the work. So I shall see you then. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll click on the ending button that says thank you very much for joining me. And yeah, thank you, and see you soon. I'm going to find the right button to press to finish off the stream. And have a good weekend. See you next week. Bye.